Good morning. Um, I woke up around 4:30 this morning, and just praising the Lord for the things that He has done for my family and I. And that's one of the joys. I'm drinking out of my daughter's Corbin cup. She goes to Corbin University. It's a Christian college, and she's home for the holidays, which is really fun. She's a trip. But I woke up, and I get up early in the morning so I can spend that time with the Lord, because I've just found that I haven't really, well, I'm seeing things in my life that bother me. So instead of just trying to deal with it on my own, I take those to the Lord. Anger issues that pop up, or things that's happened in my past, will start to anger me, and I'm like, Lord, where is this coming from? And it gets so bad I can't concentrate. And so I have to go right into immediate prayer. So I find when I get up in the morning early and spend that time, like I was up by 5, and I was out here messing with this camera, because this is my wife's stand. I've never used this thing before. But I find when I get up and spend that time with him, then it does make the day go smoother. And so the earlier I get up, the better. And so I'm really enjoying that time where everybody's still in bed. And, right now it's just about 7 after 6. I did a little studying in Joshua chapter 21. And if you read that chapter, you'll be like, what was there to study? It was listing all the cities where the Levites were going to live in the promised land. And but it's a very significant chapter, whereas the Levites were not to obtain land for themselves. They were to be sprinkled, as one commentary said, throughout the land, to give that priestly influence or impact on all the tribes. And so God said, I will be your inheritance, which I'm like, hey, you can have all the land you want. I'd rather have God's inheritance, And so, I'd rather have God as an inheritance, I guess. I should have said. And by the way, this is uncut. I have not going to start and stop this to get all the words perfect. But I woke up this morning and just thanking God for everything. I had decided to go on the VA website just to see if they had any decision on my VA claim. And when I opened it up, I was just amazed. I really didn't think that they were going to be very fair based on one of the doctors. And the last doctor I saw on the 5th of December was amazing. He was very accommodating, and but based off my mental health, I didn't think they were going to rate me very well, but it all really turned out better than I thought. And because I'm not sure if I told you all, but I had applied to work at the Job Corps here in our local area. And with the Job Corps process, it's very long. It's a government job, okay, GS pay, and it can be 6 months. But the issue was, since COVID had happened, they weren't hiring nobody. And before that, there was a 3-year hiring freeze. So all these people had retired from Job Corps here in the local area, and they had lots of jobs available. And I'd figured, since I had a degree, that would help get me higher up on the GS scale, which um, for the position I actually got, you did have to have a degree. And it's it's like the perfect job. It's like 7:30 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon, and never work a weekend. And so I was pretty excited about that. And I just got my acceptance letter from that, and I'm going to be taking a little bit of a decrease in pay in order to accept the job. And so I had talked to Anna about it, and I was like, "Are we going to be able to afford this?" And she goes, "We'll be fine." And she's when it comes to money, she doesn't say that lightly. If we're not going to be fine, she lets me know. And she just had this piece about it, and I hadn't got my VA rating yet, or my compensation, letter or anything like that. So I just stepped out, and I stepped out on faith, and I accepted the position, and which is still at this point in time, and this is the 23rd of December, 2020. I don't have a hiring date, but and probably which is a good thing, because if I'd already got my hiring date and I knew it, I'd probably tell my boss, and then they'd probably let me go before I could get my Christmas vacation, because I start that tomorrow, which is Thursday, and I don't show back up to work until the 4th of January. And so I think at that point in time, I'll have a hiring date, and I'll be able to give her a 2-week notice. There is a whole lot of positives of going over to Job Corps. I could actually buy back some of my military time, so that I can get a 20-year retirement from the Job Corps with only 11 years of working. So that's pretty cool. And then I'll be able to really retire right at 62. That's my goal. And then I'll immediately get 3 weeks of vacation. And next year I'll go from a GS7 to a GS9, which is a $11,000 increase per year. Probably by that time about $12,000. So I'll see $1,000 a month increase in my paycheck. So it'll make up for what I'm losing. But with the job I have now, it's never really going to get very much higher. It's going to top out very quickly. And the raises are only like 40 cents every 6 months. And so it's like, when I retire from that, I'm not going to actually get a retirement, only what I actually pay into the 401k. And so, it's a good job to have until something came along better. And but when I got my VA rating yesterday, and it was far above what I'm taking a step back on the job. So God really provided. I mean, I'm going to be making a little bit less at the new job, but I'm going to be happier. And God provided that, that cushion. So the VA rating, when I start getting that in February, they're going to give me a big back paycheck. I've got a credit card I'd like to pay off completely, and then they're going to then that the money I get is going to be far above what I lost. So God took care of it, and I knew He would. And in the back of my mind, I just had faith that He would take care of the situation. I've already wrote up my resignation letter with all the good points. And I think the only thing I'm going to miss is the chatter that went between the cubicles where I work. It's pretty funny. The people I work with are pretty funny. My boss is a drama queen, but and not in really a bad way, but in more of an irritating way. She's very dramatic, and but she knows her job. So it's nice knowing I can take in we have these packets when we put them together, we have to have them QC'd. and then we go and do more. Then we go and do the next step, and then we take it in, and she QCs them. And she's really cool in the fact that she doesn't freak out if I miss one. She goes, okay, remember you got to do this. Oh yeah, and then I go and make those adjustments, and so she didn't expect us to write any contracts for the first 6 months, basically, and I've already written 11 in 5 months, and so I'm the way I see things is I'm severely underpaid, and they started me out a very low wage, knowing, but yet they saw my experience, and I think that is, and I'm just being real. I'm not going to uncut. I'm not cutting this out. You're like, you're a pastor, you shouldn't say that. Well, hey, pastors are frustrated too. Okay, we're not perfect. We get frustrated just like you do. And I look at things, I'm thinking, what's fair is fair. And they knew all the experience I had. I'm basically doing the exact same thing I did in the National Guard, going out and finding people and writing contracts, basically writing OJT contracts, which means if you need somebody and I find somebody that can do that job, and they go through your interview, and you're like, yeah, I want to hire this person. Then what we do is we write up a contract stating we're going to pay half of the training wage while they're in their training process with you. It's a no-brainer and a win-win for everybody, but a lot of these businesses think there's a catch to it and won't listen to me anymore. So I think that's one of my biggest frustrations is we have a lot of money to give away and they don't want it. So they just don't get it. But with Job Corps, what I'll be doing is I'll be calling the students before they get there, before they arrive, and making sure they have everything on their list. And I warn them that if they don't have those things, they're going to have to purchase them. So make sure they come with. And to let them know, the rules and regulations. And then I call them about 2 weeks before they arrive. And then when they do arrive, I meet them. And we sit in an auditorium. I explain the rules. And so it's like intake. It's like doing orientation with them. And I love doing that stuff. And so it'll be a very good fit for me. And so, God has just really come through. So, basically a little VA update. I was approved 80%. And so I know people are out there saying, oh, you should push for 100. No, I don't need it. I'm telling you, I am so blessed. I think that was a very fair. I wasn't injured in war. I was injured here. And so the people that deserve the 100%, hey, good for you. Okay. I don't deserve 100%. I was very happy with 80. And so don't put in the comments, go for more, because I am so blessed. I feel so blessed and very content. And when you can get contentment in your life about what God has done, hey, you're in a perfect place. I'll never be content until I reach heaven as far as where my spirituality is. I want to, there's a lot of things I'm working on. And I can confess those to my brothers and sisters over YouTube. Anger will well up, and I will get to focusing on that, and then I'm like, where'd that come from, And so I just have to immediately start praying and reading the Word and talking to the Lord and say, Lord, you need to get that out of there because that is disrupting my life, And it's stupid stuff. It's stuff that came up years ago, and all Satan is doing is he's just putting that stuff in. Excuse me. Coffee is a thing from the Lord too. But the enemy just drops those things in, And he will push your buttons and to get you to get upset. And, if anything, this should encourage you. If you've always wanted to be credentialed as a minister, but you thought, no, I've got too many issues. Well, who doesn't? I've been a credentialed minister since '92, and I've had all kinds of things come up. And God has brought me through those things. And so, if you're watching this today and think, there's no way I could be a licensed minister, this is a perfect video to say, hey, this is just me, and I can help you get licensed through our organization. So, reach out if you're interested. So, anyways, God bless, and you all have a blessed day.